Hello, my name is Brother Sean, also known to his friends as Father Ted from the sitcom television series in Ireland, which was rather hilarious, of three Catholic priests who really were the most amazing guys. But it was a stand-up comedy with an incredible housekeeper, Mrs. Doyle. My purpose of doing this video is to share with you something a little bit about the Teo community of St. Francis. It's not overtly Catholic, it doesn't proselytize, it doesn't convert its members to Christianity, Judaism, Islam or any belief. But it was set up specifically to embrace all faiths. That was the simple message given to my heart back in April 2008, when I went out of curiosity to visit Assisi with no grand intentions or designs to go on a pilgrimage. And when I found this door leading somewhere, my curiosity got the better of me, and I went down into this crypt. And I could see people kneeling there and lighting candles, and I thought, what on God's name is this mausoleum suspended almost from midair? But when I got closer to it, there was a change. My curiosity disappeared, and there was a reverence, a deep reverence, and I discovered it was the tomb of St. Francis of Assisi. And behind him at the back of the crypt were his brother monks who were with him in the early days. The experience was surreal, but I knelt there for a few hours, and all I remember is I cried. I cried many tears. Many, many tears. From man's inhumanity to man. And I became aware of the cosmic Christ Jesus, the barefoot Galilean, and Francis speak to my heart. How did I know it wasn't a pipe dream? But it wasn't a pipe dream, because if it was, we would have thrown the towel in long before now. But the words were simple: go and embrace all faiths. Come out of your comfort zone. Then I was a committed Catholic Christian. Yes, I was a nursing monk for a number of years. And after a spell of 8 years, I just had enough with religion, with monastic life and with the church. I just found it so hypocritical. But a lot of it was my stuff, because I was in nurse training at the time as a nursing monk. The pressures were so great, and I was so lonely living in a community where there was no sense of community, a sense of belonging, where most of the monks were middle-aged or elderly, and they were more preoccupied with their own needs than with the needs of a group of young monks who in turn all left. Yes, they did. We lost hundreds of young men. But moving on from that, the Teo community of St. Francis, we're a group of ordinary men and women who have embraced the spiritual life, honouring the teachings of our own spiritual teachers. Some are Buddhist, Tibetan Buddhist, have a great love of His Holiness Dalai Lama, as I do. Some have an eclectic spirituality where they embrace a lot of different faith beliefs. But myself, I'm a Catholic Christian, and I live the life as a monk in service to Christ and to God. That's my personal belief. And since 2007, I took the 7th vow, which is optional, and I became a contemplative, solitary Franciscan. But I joined my community on live stream 4 times a day for our little get-togethers, morning and evening prayer, the vigil for Gaia, for peace at 8 o'clock, for all faiths, not just for the Christian faith. And the Christian faith needs prayer too, because there's so much division and discontent, isn't there? But there you go. And then at midnight I do a soiree where we do a reflection, where we connect with the cosmic Christ and Magdalena. Not my words, their words. And we just take it as it comes. But within our family, we have a group of beautiful souls. In New Zealand, in America, in Ireland, in Spain, in France, Scotland, parts of Europe, in Zurich, and here in the United Kingdom, who are living the simple life and who are living the solitary life. Some have full-time jobs to support their living. I work from home. Obviously, my ministry is online, running retreats and online courses in healing, and supporting all the members of our community who come for training. But we've been guided to do something for those members who have chosen to live the solitary hermitic life from their own home, their monastery without walls, by setting up a group called the Franclara Sunflowers for Peace. Fran representing Francis and Clara St. Clair, and sunflowers were the love of St. Francis' heart. Because the sunflower, when you look at it, it's majestic, it's joyful, it's happy, it's peaceful, it gives off good seeds for the birds. And as a Franciscan, a Celtic Franciscan, we embrace our God through the natural world, through the elements. The animal kingdom have a big part to play in our journey. Well, they do in mine, because they're little angelic helpers in their own right, and they bring so much love. But the Franclara sunflowers are the powerhouse behind the Teo community and all our members and friends around the world who try and promote peace through the example of how they live and lead their life. Our members who have chosen to live as hermits in New York, in Carolina, in New Zealand, in Ireland and here, they live a very ordinary life but are fulfilled because they've honored their heart, they've surrendered their heart to the Supreme, and live a disciplined life of prayer and fasting. But there's joy in it. But you would wonder, why wouldn't they go into a conventional monastery where the whole life is geared for that kind of life and service? Everything is tailor-made for the prayer life. But the advantage of living in a monastery without walls, your home, is that you don't have to leave family and friends like I did back in 1966, where I was away from them for 3 years, and when I came home, they didn't know their eldest brother. And you want to know the truth, I didn't know them either. We were strangers, isn't that sad? But living the life from your own home has its advantages and it has disadvantages. Because the advantages are that it gives you the freedom to express, to explore, to be dynamic and creative in your spiritual life. And you can set a time to get up and go to bed. You're not restricted like in a conventional monastery. When that bell goes at 5:30, you're up. And at the grand silence, usually after night prayer, 9 o'clock, you don't utter a word until after breakfast the following morning. It's usually 12 hours, the grand silence. You don't have that. So you have to be more disciplined yourself. Like, how much television do you watch? If you watch television. But the beautiful thing is you can be self-supportive, self-sufficient. If you're an artist or creative, then you can make things and sell them. I make cakes. I used to make a load of chutneys. In fact, 32 varieties of chutney. But you know, it becomes a real task, a laborious task, where people are wanting banana when they're out of this, or mango when mangoes are very expensive, but we try to please. But now that Brother Rob has bought me a state-of-the-art German cake maker, food processor, it's amazing. I'm churning out cakes like there's no tomorrow. So in the summer maybe, with a few tables and chairs in the monastery garden, offer a cup of tea and a bit of homemade cake and ask for a donation and put it towards our field of dreams, where a group of us can live together in our own individual dwelling, be self-supportive, but come together for prayer and maybe share a meal together. If you who are watching this video are already living the spiritual life, and you would like to continue living the spiritual life from your own home, but be part of an online community, you're welcome to join us. There's no fee. You can make a donation if you wish. There's no training unless you wish to become a member of the Teo community. Then there is a series of programs that you have to undergo as a postulant for 6 months and then as a novice for 2 years. But if you choose to live it on your own terms, from your own home, say you're a Buddhist, a Hindu, a Sikh, a Baha'in, you're more than welcome. And join us for morning and evening prayer. You can even lead those prayers from your own home if you've got an internet and a web camera, and we will train you to do that. And that would be wonderful. And maybe you could do a talk on our Peace Vigil, which goes live every night at 8 o'clock. But I would like you to pray for peace, and that is the purpose why I live my life. I've offered my life as a gift of love to a loving God who has been more than gracious to me. And the least I can do is pray for interfaith unity and peace. I would like to conclude with this lovely prayer that was presented to us yesterday when we had our monthly Teo interfaith service, which we have on the first Sunday of every month at 2 o'clock here in our little monastery. And this prayer was left by dear Brother Murray. O God, you are the source of life and peace. Praised be your name forever. We know it is you who turn our minds to thoughts of peace. Hear our prayer in this time of crisis. Your power changes hearts. Muslims, Christians, Jews, remember and profoundly affirm that they are followers of the one God, children of Abraham, brothers and sisters. Enemies begin to speak to one another. Those who were estranged join hands in friendship. Nations seek the way of peace together. Strengthen our resolve to give witness to these truths by the way we live. Give to us understanding that puts an end to strife, mercy that quenches hatred, and forgiveness that overcomes vengeance. Empower all people to live in your law of love. And that was designed by Pax Christi, an amazing organization. Please hold the brothers and sisters of Franclara, Sunflowers for Peace, for we too need your prayer. Please remember the brothers and sisters of the Teo community of St. Francis, again ordinary men and women from different faiths, who come together to pray online every day for peace. Namaste. Shalom. Inshallah pax et bonum. Om Shanti. Solo di caritas. Peace. And whoever you are, wherever you are, I ask a loving God to bless you now in your mind, body and spirit. May you know the peace of God. Take care and God bless you.